100 Days of Gratitude, day 34, and I am grateful for stimulants, things like caffeine, which of course we all love to love, but we love to hate. Yeah, they play an interesting role in our society, our culture, and have for a long time. Caffeine being the most notable kind of chemical, that gives us that alertness, that focus, that increase of energy. And of course, caffeine is not just found in coffee, it's found in chocolate, it's found in yerba mate, it's found in tea, the Camellia sinensis. And we all have our preferences for which kind of beverage we like. I personally don't drink coffee because I am better than you. No, that's the joke between my wife and I. She drinks coffee, I drink tea, and pick your flavor, pick your stimulant, your effect. There are so many of these incredible plants and the compounds that they contain out there, and each of them have a different effect. Caffeine being a primarily nervous system stimulant, and it's just unique composition. Doesn't work for me. Works for obviously a ton of other people, and of course, obviously, when we're talking about these things, it's all about quantity as well, right? I mean, there's a real difference between 1 cup, 2 cups, and 8 to 10. And I love stimulants. Even though coffee doesn't work for me, I love tea, right? I've always loved matcha, and more recently I've really been getting into black tea. Absolutely love black tea, and I'm starting to explore the different types and the different regions it comes from, and it's wonderful. Really enjoy it. So tea obviously does contain a little bit of caffeine, but it's also got theophylline, which is a respiratory stimulant, and you can in fact find extracts of green tea that people will use for things like asthma. It opens up those bronchioles and just kind of inspires a nice, good, deep breath, along with L-theanine, and this is an amino acid that helps create a state of focus, but also tranquility. And it's why tea and matcha, used by monks for meditating. They didn't drink coffee and sit down and meditate. It was tea that created that type of nice kind of focus, but calm, balanced awareness. One of my favorites is actually yerba mate. And yerba mate, again, contains a little bit of caffeine. It's got matine. The tagline is feel the good energy. And it definitely produces some nice, good energy. It's very vitamin and mineral rich. And there's a saying about it that it's got the strength of coffee, the health benefits of green tea, and the euphoria of chocolate. And that is absolutely a great herb, and probably my number one go-to these days, as well as over time. Always been a huge yerba mate fan. And what else do I love? Well, chocolate, of course, another stimulant. Has a little bit of caffeine. It's chemically complex. Like cacao has got so much going on with it. A little bit of caffeine, but it's primarily what we call methylxanthine, theophylline, caffeine, matine, theobromine, and this is a cardiovascular system stimulant. So it's more on the heart and the blood flow, in addition to that little bit of caffeine. So it's got a little bit of a different feel, a different energy, a different synergy to it. So I'm super grateful for all the world's wonderful plants and their alkaloids that are stimulating, that are euphoria inducing, that are focusing. And I know everyone's got their preference. We love to love them, but we also love to kind of trash on them too. And I'm here just to sing their praises. They are absolutely incredible. And of course, just finding one's own balance and moderation with them, but they certainly do play a role in human civilization, human psyche, our past, right? Like the idea of colonialism, yes, big part of that was the spice trade, but it was also accessing all these wonderful plants and their stimulating properties, whether it was tea, right? Probably the most single influential plant, that especially the British really got into and sought to kind of control. And then we have the whole history of the States and their connection to tea. So there's a lot of depth there to these incredible, wonderful plants, and they do play a role. Fantastic book out there on it called Pharmacodynamics, and this is by Dale Pendle. He wrote a whole series, and the Dynamis ones is all about those stimulating herbs. So he talks about coca, he talks about guarana, kola nut, tea, coffee, you name it. There's so many wonderful stimulating plants out there, and they each have their own quality, they each have their own energy, and they're a wonderful thing to take advantage of, to enjoy, to utilize and enhance physical performance, mental function. Our society would not exist in the way, the shape that it does without things like caffeine and the plants that provide it. So hey, day 34, 100 Days of Gratitude, I'm singing the praises of stimulants.